Okay, the next two players I want to focus on are the 7 and 11. Those are our wing players, so left and right wing. Um, if I were to define a space that they would be playing in, again, I hesitate to do so, but I will. It would be on the outside quarter, maybe third of the field. So the problem with defining that space is now the players might think, oh, I have to stay in that outside position. I can't come inside. There are certainly times where they will need to leave that position as the play develops. But the reason we define these lines or these zones is the real goal or responsibility of the 11 and the 7 is to help stretch the width of the field. We talked about the 9 stretching the length of the field. We want the 11 and 7 to create some width as the plays develop. That doesn't mean they can't come in, and I'll show that in a second. Okay, I draw these zones back a bit as well because I want our 7 and 11 to play a defensive role on our defensive side of the field as well. Since we're playing 9v9, we have two less players. The 7 and 11 would play more of a defensive role than they would in 11v11, where they'd be able to stay higher on the field. So they certainly will play defense back and pressure the ball. Of course, if they are in the middle of pressuring the ball, they wouldn't stop pressuring the ball there because they battle for it down the line. They would obviously continue that pressure. However, if they were high and somehow the ball got deep, I wouldn't want the 7 running back in to pressure that ball. I would allow the 2 or encourage the 2 to put that pressure on and so forth. So the 7 has to kind of read the play and know when they are to pressure the ball and when they're to maintain pressure and when they're to trust their defense and get wide to stretch the field and anticipate a pass. Um, the other thing about the 7 and 11 that I want to caution about is when they are playing wide, which is, again, primarily where I want to see them, they don't need to get stuck in this attempt, trying to dribble the ball all the way up the sideline and then looking for this cross. Now, sometimes that can work out fine and you can get a good cross off in this situation. But what I want our 7 and 11 to be thinking about is how do we get the ball to the center? And so I'm going to draw a little funnel here if I can. Okay, so we want the 7 and the 11 to start thinking about how do we get the ball back into the middle. Okay. Now we got some width. We created some width out here. We got the ball out wide. Now as they advance towards the goal, they need to start thinking, how am I going to get the ball central? Now, if they just dribble into the corner, like we often see them do, they're not going to get the ball. It's going to be very difficult to get the ball central because the defenders are all going to be crowded in that zone. Of course, they're defending the goal. The further out we are, the more central opportunities our 7 might have. The 11 making this run is not going to run here, and is not going to run central. Think of the funnel as they come in towards the post, looking for that cross potentially. Of course, we'd have more players up making those runs. That 11 would be coming through. Our 8 would probably be coming through as well. Maybe not there. 6 might be there, something like that. Okay, our 2 would be higher on the field, of course. We'll talk more about them in a second. Okay, so as the 7 looks to move the ball up the field, we don't want them dribbling into this corner. We want them looking to funnel the ball in either through a pass, dribbling, beating a defender, looking to cross, but again, their eyes up and looking to funnel that ball towards the middle. It might even be a negative pass to another teammate who might be able to then attack, shoot, whatever. So the 7 and the 11, yes, there are wide players. However, when the ball shifts, to one side of the field or another, we also need to make sure the 7 and the 11 are shifting as well. So in that case, the 9 might make a run here, 8 might fill in, 7 would shift over and look for that crossing ball or switching the field opportunities. So they're not stuck in that outside zone. The other opportunity the 11-7 might have is actually then an inside run. So in this case, the 11 played the ball to the 9 wide, and the 11 may decide, I'm going to make an overlap run through for a quick give and go. Certainly okay. Okay. So the point of all of this is to tell the 7-11, don't get stuck in this idea that you're just an outside player and that you're just running back on the outside. Certainly, we want you to get wide in the right situation. We want you to make those outside runs, but we also want you to start looking inside, either to beat a defender inside, to distribute the ball on a pass, or to make the run on the inside as you build up on the attack.